Right, guys, the last potty of Beyond Belmore, and it is fair to say you have been the most asked about person all year. We've tried to get you. I've pulled you from pillar to post, but thanks for coming on, Critter. Really appreciate it, brother. How you going, man? How's life? How's Belmore?
Life in Belmore's been hectic. Going out to lunch with the boys, Brecky. You can tell why it is a family club. The fans love the boys. The boys love the fans, and it's definitely been a motivation this year, seeing how the fans react to the games and them coming out and packing out the stadiums for the boys. And it's definitely something that we talk about with the boys as well, leading into games, playing our best for our fans and our family as well. And but yeah, the life here in Belmore's a lot different than out in Penrith, more active, more live. But yeah, I'm loving my time here, loving it.
Mate, this is actually a personal question. I didn't even have this on the thing, but I just like... honestly, like the way you carry yourself day to day, man. And so you're 23?
23, yeah.
23, like, because you're a natural leader. I honestly look at you, bro, like on and off the field.
Thank you.
I'm not even just giving you a rap here. It's so good to see, like, obviously the captaincy this year is a fairly big thing for you. Is a massive step in your career. Does it come natural to you, mate? Like, if you had to work on being a leader, because I'm assuming in the Penrith side, back when you were there, you're a young side, but it looks like, you got the likes of Nathan, Jerome, that sort of lead. Has it been natural for you, mate, or have you had to work on your leadership?
No, I don't reckon it's come natural. I was pretty loud when I was a kid, but when I was put on the spot to speak in front of people, I wasn't the best at it. I was always a clown in school and that as well, but like you said, I've been a part of some pretty successful teams with the likes of Nathan and Yowie as captain, and I've always been a part of the leadership group, and I've never been asked to be in there. I've always kind of gravitated to it. I've always kind of invited myself into those little groups back at Penrith, and I've always wanted to learn and be the leader of the outside backs crew back then, and lead in that way. But that kind of didn't come natural to me. I kind of just led by my actions and learned off the likes of Nathan and Yowie, the way they acted. And when I kind of knew that I was coming to the Dogs, something that I spoke with Ciro, I wasn't coming here to kind of be a leader, but I was a leader in that sense, coming from a team like that to a team with full of younger boys, and everything that I did, I had to lead as an example, and that was my mindset coming to the Dogs. Was whatever I did, the boys were watching me, the way that I did things, they would like gravitate to that as well, and build a pretty massive friendship group with these boys, and it just kind of kicked off from there. So it's been pretty crazy ever since I got here. So it's been mad.
Wait, I feel, sometimes I sit up there creepily watching you boys train. If you know that, by the way, but I just watch you. I watch you train. I feel everything you do on the field is elite. Like, that's just, even playing as a half, watching you defensively and whatnot, is amazing. But the thing that stood out for me is your off-field stuff. I see you around Joe Bells, I see you around people, but just one thing that happened once. It was, downstairs it's all crazy. You're rushing to, you got to get to wrestle this and that. But there was a time there where, you were rushing to get somewhere, but you ran past Terry Lamb, but you come back to shake his hand. And that is just respect.
Yeah.
I know how much that means to Tez.
Yeah.
So, like, is that something that it's not that you think about it all the time, but you obviously want to be a leader on the field, but show these young boys, what it takes, I suppose, to set an example off the field too?
Yeah, 100%. I think especially with Terry and that, they're the legends of the club as well. And I think I still remember that day, all the boys were rushing out for wrestle, and I seen him, and I kind of like stopped and thought what was more important, kind of rushing to wrestle, or like just like sitting there and having a little chat with Terry first. And I think Goody always spoke to me about sitting down and having a chat with him, and I haven't really met him that time. I kind of thought it was more important to sit down and talk to one of the legends of the club instead of rushing out to wrestle. And we have wrestle every Monday, so being late to one wrestle wasn't really a bad thing for me. I was kind of more leaning towards getting to know Terry, and just having a little chat with him as well. And he sent his congratulations once he spoke to me then. But ever since then, every time he walks in, I kind of have a little chat with him and how it was back when he was captain in the club and when he was playing as well. So it was massive for myself.
Oh mate, it doesn't go unnoticed, man. I just wanted to let you know, like you can see it, everyone can see it, mate, and you're doing a great job. But let's delve into a little bit of you, man. Tell us about your childhood. Where did you grow up? Did you always love footy?
Born overseas in Samoa.
Yep.
Moved to New Zealand when I was 2, and then moved here when I was 4 from New Zealand. And parents came over kind of, it was out of the blue. Mum and Dad say just life in the islands were a bit too hard for them. There were 6 of us children that they were trying to look after, and it was too much for them in the islands to do that, and they seen an opportunity to come and restart here in Australia, trying to find a job to cater to us kids. And when we first came, we moved in. We couldn't find a house, so we moved in with one of my cousins, and they were like one of 7 as well. So we kind of went straight into there, and it was like a zoo. It was crazy, so many kids around. But that was my memories of a kid. Being in a house full of kids, you kind of just slept wherever you fell asleep, whether it was on the ground or whether it was on the couch, at the back house or wherever. And that was kind of the humble beginnings for myself. Not kind of getting what was like my own room. Kind of didn't get my own room until I finished school.
Mm-hmm.
So that was always my childhood, and always kind of seeing the struggle my parents went through, and that was my drive, my why is into getting into footy. But yeah, like you asked, I wasn't really a footy fan when I was young. I watched the Rabbitohs and that because of the likes of GI, Sam Burgess and that, and that was my favourite team when I was younger. But yeah, I wasn't really that into footy. My older brother Christian played for Penrith.
Yep.
And yeah, I was more into AFL and basketball actually. Coming through school, played a lot of different sports, but those were my 2 like main sports. And wasn't until my brother made it into the NRL. I kind of thought, I could actually like try go down that path to become a footy player. So I wasn't really talented either, though. I played wing when I was younger, and a lot of boys my age that play footy now would always know me as the guy that came in and did torpies and then went back to the wing. Like that was my only job throughout the game. Just come in, last play, do a torpie, go back to the wing. But yeah, that was kind of my childhood growing up. Playing footy, but yeah, footy definitely wasn't my first choice.
So did you play a bit of AFL and stuff?
I did,
school?
Yeah,
because you got the build.
Yeah,
you got the AFL tall.
I did play AFL coming through in basketball as well, and I was in the Giants like development crew. Yeah, Mum always pushed me to play AFL because it wasn't like hard on the body, like contact wise. But my dad was always the one that pushed me to play rugby league because my older brother was there, and he loved rugby league too, and he was always the one that pushed me to play rugby league.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Giants. The one that got away. We got him now. So you're speaking about just hearing about your family when you come over, living together in the same house. I see you are very family orientated, just from like your socials and whatnot. Your family always seem to be there with you.
Yeah.
Is that but them being there, you know, possibly living with them back in the day, it must feel very special now to be able to represent them from sort of where you come from, living under the same roof, and now, you know, doing it on the big stage for them, mate. It must make you feel proud.
Yeah, 100%. Very proud. Ever since I made my debut, every game after that, they're the reason why I do it. I definitely wouldn't be here without my mum and dad. Speaking to them about their upbringing with my 3 older brothers, it was definitely hard for them to cater to them, and I think just the struggle. Every time I talk to my parents about it, they get teary and they cry how hard it was for them to just up and leave their family in the islands to come here. So everything that I do now with footy and stuff, I owe it back to them. And the biggest thing probably for myself was my Origin debut. That's probably the only game that you get to wear your last name on your back. So to put my parents, my dad's last name on my back and right now to represent them was definitely a massive thing for them. And everything that I do now whether it's for footy or whether it's getting them a house was a massive thing for myself. They didn't have a lot when they were younger. When I was born, and they sacrificed a lot for myself. So the least I could do was sacrifice my body to do the job that I do to cater to back and give back to my parents. So that's the biggest drive for myself, and the biggest why as well.
Yeah, it's quite unbelievable. You know, we speak about, you just said sacrifice, and you know, parents sacrifice every day,
100%.
But you know, for your parents to move country, come over here, start fresh. You can't imagine how nervous they would have been.
Yeah,
you know, they probably never tell you like exactly how they
Yeah.
felt, but yeah, mate. And then, as you said, to run out for the Blues with your dad's name on the back,
100%.
just must have been super proud. I'm assuming, mate.
Yeah, 100%. I think that was once I made my debut. Literally the day I made my debut, my dad said to me like, "Oh, your goal is to play Origin. Like, I want you to push as hard as you can to play one Origin game." And that's always been a goal for me. To play Origin, and I've played a few now, but every time I get to put that jersey on with my last name on my back, I always think about my family, the sacrifices that they made, and it definitely makes me play a lot harder for them. I run out and I see them in the stands with my face and things like that, and it still makes me teary now, running out to represent them. I always think back to the way that they struggled when I was a young kid, and now I get to go out there and put a smile on their faces, which is a massive thing for me.
For some people, betting can get out of hand. Look out for your mates and start a conversation if you're worried about them. Reclaim the game. Be gamble aware.
So speak about, like, where'd you go to school? Where'd you go to school at?
I went to Ridley High to start with, with Bizza.
Yeah, nice.
And then year 9, I moved to Patrician Brothers, Blacktown. I didn't want to. It was an all-boys school. And my parents came to me and was like, oh, because my brother Christian was at Paddy's then, and my parents were telling me that, oh, you're going to have to go. We want you to go there and focus on your footy and take your footy serious. And I was at a co-ed school, boys and girls, and I wasn't really keen on going there. I wasn't really keen on going there like all boys and stuff, but literally that's probably like the difference in my life. Like when I went there, literally the boys there, it was just like a culture that I never imagined. Like it was the best thing. Like it was the best decision I ever made, and I always thank my parents for forcing me to go there.
Yeah, right.
Because it literally made me focus on my footy, and there's no like girls there to like distract the boys.
They need that, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So once you like, you're with the boys 24/7, you're with the footy boys 24/7. So you kind of like build that connection with them. You know how it is. Like with footy now, you need that good connection to win games and stuff.
Absolutely,
So I went to Patrician Brothers, and then we made the finals, and that connection with the boys that I have back then is still the connection I have with them now.
Yeah, good.
And it was the best thing going to an all boys school. Like just connecting with the boys and concentrating on footy the most was probably the biggest step for me as well.
Yeah. So when you were going there, where were you living? Were you living out that way?
I was living in Mount Druitt.
Mount Druitt?
Mount Druitt,
Yeah, obviously, you know, I hear you and the boys busy and all that, speaking about, you know, Mount Druitt and, you know, you just put it on the map. It's fair to say. But when I look at Mount Druitt and I actually look at Belmore, I draw a lot of similarities. Yeah. You know, like it's very hard-working places,
100%.
but a lot of talent.
Yeah,
like you'd walk around the street, like I go and watch junior rugby league down and man, you see some freaky kids there, and I'm assuming the same as Mount Druitt. Can you see some similarities living in both areas?
Yeah, 100%. I think the kids are like all diehard footy fans, and like you said, there's a lot of talent as well. And when I was coming through, probably what shadowed the footy side of kids coming out of Mount Druitt was the struggle street that they brought out. Like it was a real struggle. Like it was a bad thing to live in Mountie. So kind of when we made our debut for Penrith, it was like there was a light there. Like there's, and I always talk about it now. There's a lot of kids out there that there's a lot of talent coming out of Mount Druitt, and I wouldn't say we put it like on the map, but we kind of gave the light to those younger kids that you can make it out of there. And like you said, there's a lot of talent and hard working here in Belmore as well, and I see it a lot with the kids coming through. They love their footy, and all they need is that role model for them to chase after. And there's a lot of role models here for Belmore's, like Karaz and their junior league as well. There are a lot of kids that love those boys, and it's so cute seeing those little kids when they see Karaz is like, I want to become a Bulldogs player. And, it takes those people like that come from the junior league to be a role model for those kids, and those kids to chase after them. So it's mad.
It's for me personally, I think kids coming from those areas, if they see someone like you or Jerome going through, they probably unfortunately don't have the best upbringing, and their parents might not give them every opportunity, but if they sort of see you doing it, it's sort of that, you're right, man, it's like a little pathway. It's a little pathway, or it's like a little light that switches on and goes, you know what? Maybe that can be me.
100%.
Maybe that's what it is. So, mate, I think it's amazing. You know, what we can do as players. I think players 100%. Should do it more. And you mentioned Karaz, always giving up his time for local footy,
100%.
Hospitals, whatever. And we got a gift. We're very lucky, and you obviously 100%. Have used it, man. So it's good to see. All right, let's. I want to talk about Ciro. Obviously, you've got a really good relationship with him. I see he's holding hands downstairs a lot. He's a very close. But no, honestly, mate, like he raves about you, and as he should. Were you always this close at Penrith with him? Did he always, make you feel comfortable enough to be yourself? And obviously, because I had Ivan as well at the Tigers. Ivan's a very cruisy guy. Ciro's a little bit different. He's cruisy as well, but just a different side. Explain your relationship with Ciro.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know how to explain it, Like, Ciro's like definitely a father figure to myself. My time at Panthers, Ciro was the easiest person to talk to in the coaching staff, I'll be honest. He coached my older brother as well, and my older brother would always brag about, bro, he's the man. Like, if you ever get a chance to talk to him, like, go and talk to him. And that was probably the difference in my decision of leaving Penrith was, like, if I want to go, I'm definitely going to go where Ciro is. And he's that type of guy to make myself comfortable, and just the way it's not just him, it's the way he coaches. I reckon he was the big difference at Penrith with the defensive system that he brought through, and I get a lot of raps for being like the best defensive centre, and a lot of people tell me that, and the whole reason why for that is my preparation, and I always give it back to Ciro. These D2 sessions back at Penrith, he used to bring me in like 2 hours before training, which is a pretty funny story. He brought me 2 hours before training just to practice like these little grubbers that I do in the corner. And at the time I was just like, oh, bro, why are you bringing me in? Like, I know how to kick. And then he'll take me to the other side and practice kicking with my other foot. And he's just like, oh, bro, it's just another thing to add to your kit bag, like another thing to add to your game. And literally in the grand final, those two grubber kicks that I did in the grand final was literally the kicks that he was like putting into me 2 years ago, like at the Panthers. And that's just the kind of like coach he is, just to coach the little things and make those things perfect. And he's just not just the coach that he is, the person that he is. You can talk to him about family issues, things away from footy, and he definitely cares about the boys' lives outside footy as well, which is really cool. And you can see that connection with him and the boys downstairs. When it's not footy, he's mucking around with the boys, talking about things that happen outside footy, and that's the kind of connection that you want in a coach. And he definitely drives that for the club, and everything that you see the players are outside here is what Ciro instills in us inside our four walls, and the respect that the players show after games to go out to see the fans and stuff, and that after the games, that's from the head coach. And he loves seeing the boys go out and interact with the fans as well, and everything that we do is definitely from the coach. So that's just the type of guy he is. He's the man.
It's honestly, like, I'm a bit angry, to be honest, because I honestly wish I had him when I was first starting. Yeah, defensively.
100%.
You said my style, my tech is. See better days. Let's face it. It's all good, sir. It was funny, man. I should have seen last year because obviously my habits were years. So I just get my body in front, do your best. Very last year, like, I could tell he was like laughing at me, but like I was trying. But I also look at it the other side. So I help out a little bit with the flag with Jacko, and I just say to the boys, get these habits into you from a young age, because like, I don't even know, like, little things like turning your shoulders,
100%,
centre half combination makes you do things. But like for me, we never really thought of that stuff. Well, we never got taught that stuff. So it's quite unbelievable that when people ask me like what's zero, I just say detail.
Yeah,
there's every single detail.
100%.
And then obviously you've been the beneficiary of that year and year of going through it. You spoke about the grand finals. We actually spoke to Zero about this story about the intercept against Cody. Yeah, probably if one of the best ball players in the last 10 years, 5 or 10 years. There was a moment at training. It was a D2 possibly, or one of those sessions where Zero showed us the exact vision of that exact play. Cody Walker going down the short side. I think it was Nathan at training throws the cutter and you missed the intercept. And then obviously Zero showed us in the grand final. You get that intercept, probably win the game for the Riff in that one. Two things. It's just a great lesson for kids to realize you can stuff up at training.
100%.
Like you're going to get it wrong.
Yep.
You just mentioned it before. Like you are the best center in the defensive center in the game, and you get it wrong sometimes.
100%.
But Zero actually says if you don't take that intercept, he doesn't think Penrith go and win more comps. He honestly says that because that intercept made everyone realise who Penrith is. You come up with that play. From then on, went and won. How many more did you win after that? 2 or
2, yeah.
So like that's 3 comps. How does that make you feel to hear that Zero literally thinks that moment changed, made Penrith who they are right now?
Yeah. Nah, I hear Zero talk about it all the time because I'll talk about the like the errors. Like making mistakes is a normal thing, and I still make a lot of mistakes at training, and like I kick myself for it. But Zero comes in and says, it's good for the team to see you make errors. Like you're human as well. Like a lot of people rap you for making the right decision, but when the younger boys see me make a bad decision, it actually makes them like feel more comfortable making the mistake.
Yep.
And with that story at training, I was just we did homework on like Cody Walker coming around the corner, and he's literally the best at icing 3v2s, and we spoke all week about getting in position to make a tackle and make the read as well, and at training I got to the right position, and Nathan threw the ball, and I went to pick it and missed it, and then our cup boys went down and scored, and like I was just kicking myself for it, and he literally sat down with me after that session and just went through my movements before that, and literally the same thing happened that week for the grand final, and I literally remember like being under pressure, but remembering what Sarah just said, just get to position to make a tackle, and everything else will just work out itself. At training, I didn't get to position. I literally went in there thinking about intercepting the ball, and I missed the ball. But then when it came to the game, I remember being in that position and just trying to get to position and watch the ball, and like my shoulders will make the read and make the tackle, and literally I was in the right position at the right time, and made that pick. But I reckon if I got it wrong, if I got it right at training and did make that intercept, then I would have went in there thinking intercept, and he would have hit short. Yeah. And then I would have looked like an idiot. But I think the reps at training, I try and like drill it into the boys. The way that you train is definitely the way that you play, and you take those lessons in at training, so you can get better. That's the process of getting better. Going into trying to be successful is failing just as much as you are winning, and I get most of my reads wrong at training, and I love getting it wrong at training because I get to watch back on my movements and stuff, and watch and do homework on the center that I'm going up against, what's his strengths and things like that, so I can be one step ahead of the ball as well. So, and all of that basically comes back from how Ciro taught me when I first came into grade, doing homework on days off, not just sitting around and like stretching, things like that. He was probably the first person to tell me that, like, if you do all of that, you're going to become a better player, and I definitely wouldn't be here without him as well. So,
Well, there you go, kids.
Yeah.
Get into position early, stay as square as you can, as long as you can.
100%.
Hey, you know, bro.
Yes, sir.
I know. Actually, I got a question just off the back of that. You said you went back and you love watching the clips, you like to get better. Were you always like that, or was there a game or a moment that made you change?
Yeah, there is a game, probably like turning point, where I went away from being the talented player to working hard, like the hard-working player was. I don't think anyone remembers, but Ciro definitely remembers it. We were up against Parramatta Eels. Last play of the game, we're up by 2 points, and they throw Wonga the ball. And you see us do those blue mat tackles all the time. And literally up to that point, I was taking the piss out of training. Like, I was like, oh, I know how to tackle. Like, people were rapping me for it. Like, oh, yeah, he's a good defender and stuff like that at the start of my career. And I was like, yeah, I know how to tackle. Don't worry. Like, when it comes to the game, I'll do it. That little, like, they hit Wonga Blake early, and I literally just just went into it like soft, and he literally like fended me straight in my jaw, like fended me here, and he went in and scored. And that play there, right there, like killed me for the whole week. We lost the game. I was like getting blamed for the game as well, and Ciro literally came to me that week and told me like that play right there is literally going to make you stronger, make you better, or you're going to let it get to your head and you're just going to go in your shell. And literally after that, Ciro kept me back after training, and I was doing that tackle every day, that same tackle every day, and just smashing the cup boys. Like, it made me that angry that I let that try. And so literally after that, my mentality for training changed. When I'm going in to make a tackle, I'm going into like tackle to make the tackle and make that person hurt. And that was literally the turning point of where I took my talent and turned it into hardworking at training and being that hardworking center rather than just being that talented player. And that was literally the turning point of watching clips after training, watching my movements, watching how I look off the ball when the ball's going the other way, just little things like that, those little details that, and it honestly all went back to Ciro. When he said that to me is literally that play right there is literally going to hurt you, and you're going to go in your shell, and you're going to let that dictate the rest of your career, or you're going to let that be the reason you're going to come out a better player. You're going to come out being a better defensive player because of that play, or you're going to just let it happen again. And that literally drove me from then all the way up until now. I don't want to miss a tackle for the team. That literally drives me. So, yeah.
It's quite an impressive point, because that's the thing. So me personally, I felt I used to train hard I honestly used to go hard, but not so. And what I'm trying to say here, I used to I'd do extras, but try and be fitter.
Yeah.
I'll be fit. I'll try and go hard, be the fittest in the team. Yeah. That's how I feel I got my edge. But I wish now I went harder in those type of drills. Yeah. Ciro's, I've trained hard. Like we had Des Hasler, like he's hard, but he's more like army hard drill. And but I love that. It suited me because I was like, man, but now I wish I went harder at training in those drills. Yeah. Because all it does is it's more learning your craft.
100%.
Because you've won comps, you've played Origin, you've captained your country, right? But doing it at training makes you just confident.
100%.
Going for that tackle on those pads, on those mats. It's you just put in the game, and as you said, like we break it down 3v2s, 2v1s. 2v1s. It's just it's quite unbelievable.
100%.
Any lesson that you could give kids these days is do those little things, find drills that make you better for your position. Yeah. But obviously on top, get fit and do all that stuff. That's another thing where I wish in my career I went just that bit harder at those ones, because you just get confidence.
100%.
Just putting the reps in. So
especially those 3v2 drills, like that's like an under 12s drill. Like you that's where you first do it, like under 12s. And literally we did it in the off season, and the boys were like kind of like taking the piss out of it a bit. Like we're like, we know how to do the 3v2 drill. And then Ciro brought us in the next morning, and he showed an NRL game. Like I don't know who it was, but he's just like, press play, and then first play there's a 3v2 drill right there, and he draws a box 3v2, and then he press play again, and then the next half got the ball, it's a 2v1 drill, and then he just explains like there's no, like, this is the reason why we do this at training, is because on the field there's so many 3v2 drills, but people overthink it. But like you're in that position every time, and that's the reason why we do those 3v2 drills, like for 20 minutes straight. It's just to instill the get in position, watch the ball, get in position, watch the ball, get to that spot, the ball will tell you what to do. So like when it comes to those big plays, like in those big games, it's literally from the preseason. Ciro like sitting us there doing the 3v2 drills, because when Cody Walker's coming out the back, if you're not in the right position at the right time, he's picking the right pass like 90% of the time. And it's just those little drills that you think is like, we know that stuff, but just the way Ciro drew that up on the board, like all the boys are like, bro, he's actually so right. There's a 3v2 drill there. The ball goes to the next person. There's a 2v1 drill there. Ball goes to the next person. There's a 3v2 drill there. And that's the reason why we do those reps back to back to back to back. So when it comes in the big game, like you've already done the work and you're in the, like it's just automatic. You just get to that position.
Let's take some time to reflect here. Haslam's sideline conversion in 2002. Trent Hodkinson's field goal in 2014. Thrifty becoming the Bulldogs' official car rental sponsor in 2023. Some of the greatest moments in Bulldogs history. Which one is best? Bulldogs fans can score 15% off the base rate of day with Thrifty. For the best deals on car rentals, visit www.thrifty.com.au/Bulldogs.
Yeah, so we've obviously spoken about Ciro, and obviously he come to the Dogs last year. So like for me personally, I look at it. You've won comps, you played Origin, you've captained your country. Why the Dogs? Obviously minus Ciro. Did you feel because obviously the club was struggling, you wanted to try and come in and change that? Was that a bit of the incentive, or was it just you wanted to change it, a new challenge?
Probably the biggest thing is like I wouldn't have come here if I didn't think we were going to win a comp, especially as well. But the biggest confidence they gave me was Ciro. I'm a massive believer in system. System will always beat talent.
Yep.
And I look back at my time at Penrith, and we always fell back to the process. We always fell back to the system. And the system's still there at Penrith, the defensive system. So,
Number 2 defensive system now.
Yeah.
Hey.
So Ciro is the main creator of the system, and he knows the system back to front. And if he got the right players at the club, the system will thrive. Like the system will hold up against any team, up against any talent. Whoever we're going up against, the system will always hold. And that's what gave me the confidence in saying, oh yeah, like I want to go where Ciro is. And seeing a few of the signings that he already had signed before me, I was just excited to like come for the new challenge. And Christian, my brother, always told me it was a family club, and I was gonna love it there, and I was gonna love it here. And ever since coming, I've had no regret in going back anywhere else. Or I kind of want to finish like my career here now as well. Just the way that we're going and the way that the club is, the fans, everything about it is definitely like who I am, and I'm loving it. So that was probably the biggest point in the discussion of me coming was having the right people there. And I always knew that Ciro's system will beat any system. Ciro's defensive system will beat any attack system that will come at us. So and it showed this year. Like we don't have the biggest pack, we don't have the biggest back five, but we're up there in one of the best defensive systems this year, and defensive teams this year. And it's just credit to the boys how hard they train and how hard they want to put their old habits aside and trust in Ciro's habits, in what he wants to coach, and everything that we do. So yeah.
Well, mate, it's that's why I think everyone right now is the Bulldogs is their second favourite team, just because, like you said, they're just hustlers
100%.
and they have a go.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what you want. As, even not as a fan, like as a footy fan.
Yeah.
Everyone just loves to see people that have a crack, and
100%.
And that's what I feel our boys do at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's great to see, mate. And yeah, we hope you're here for a very long time too. But mate, so this is our segment 2. It's our classic questions brought to you by Classic Sports. These are a bit not silly, but a little bit different. So, we spoke about Ciro a lot. Obviously very close to him, but is there anything that annoys you about him, or you just love him? There's got to be something. Like any relationship, there's something you just go. I mentioned before he's a bit tight. Did you?
Nah. I actually wouldn't. Like, I would actually be honest with you. Like, I'm actually that close to Ciro. I would sledge him. Like,
yeah.
But I actually have nothing like bad to say about him. Like if like a lot of players come to the club. Like Kurt Mann and things like that. Like I talk to him and he's just like, bro, I'm actually so happy I came for Ciro. Like Ciro's the way he makes the boys feel comfortable in that. But yeah, I wouldn't have anything bad to say about him.
Yeah.
Like,
oh well, there you go.
Yeah, on the field and off the field, he's the man.
Yeah, good. Sorry guys, we try to get something juicy, but how about a teammate? There's got to be someone that's just a little bit too full on, a little bit annoying. Someone, surely.
Probably in a funny way, Toby Sexton.
Tobes?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, he can talk. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he can talk, bro. He loves, like, he's a footy nerd.
Yeah.
Like, he can talk to Berto and that, like, about footy all the time. And Berto and him room as well.
True.
And we're just like, bro, does he talk too much? Like, when you guys are roomies? And Berto's like, bro, this other night I was like almost falling asleep. And then he just like starts yapping. He's like, bro, that chick's hot ass, bro. Why don't you? And Berto's half asleep, bro. Berto's like sleeping. He's like, oh, yeah. And like,
They're opposite. Berto's
yeah,
pretty quiet.
real quiet, and Toby can talk underwater, bro. It's funny as.
Is he back on the scene? Because he was.
Tobes?
Yeah, Fletcher and Hindy were. Remember when they come and he was single? Is he
Yeah,
back?
no, I don't know.
He's a bachelor.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get him on the batchy, the new batchy.
Yeah, he's looking for someone, I think. Yeah.
All right, this is the last one. This is a tough question, man, but I'm all about hard-hitting questions. You say you're close to all the doggies boys, but I know you're close to all the Riff boys. Who you picking, bro? You got to pick now, man. But like the one thing I will say, like even you brought here and looking at that, like you just have fun.
Yeah.
Like obviously when trading's on, it's full on. But
yeah.
bro, like I constantly hear that. I go home and I hear that boombox in my head, and I know it's you remixing on it, bro. Like, that's what it's all about. But just having a bit of fun.
Nah,
with the boys
100%. I think especially footy, like it could like take a toll on some players. Like it's pretty full on. Like you've played for a long time as well, and I think once like field and that's finished, it's good to have a laugh with the boys. And I've kind of learned how to balance that, like when to be serious about footy and like when footy's done, like go and relax with the boys. Like before coming into training, we always catch up for coffee and that and have a laugh. And I think that like those times are probably more important than the times that we're here at training. And when you're on the field, you know that the boys aren't going to let you down, and you're working hard with them as well.
Yeah, man. Well, mate, thanks so much for coming on. On a serious note, brother, like, yeah, what you've done for this club, from the outside looking in, I love the club, and I'm just happy that you're here, mate. You love it. You're buying in. You're probably everything that we can want as a captain, mate. And I know everyone inside these walls and outside in that street love it, brother. So keep it up, man, and hopefully you're here for a long time.
Thank you, my man. Thank you.